you remember when you could watch a cartoon for a quarter while your parents shopped? Well, today we're picking up a Movie Hut cartoon theater, straight from the 1970s when putting a child in a box to stare at flickering lights for 3 minutes was considered both entertainment and childcare. Movie Hut Incorporated, an extremely creative name, also gave the world other treasures of youth like the Fun Chicken, the Heart Scan, and of course, the Star Probe. All of them took your quarter and, in return, gave you either a toy or a deeply unasked-for health warning. We found this Movie Hut on eBay for $12 freaking. The catch? It was nearly 6 hours away, and the seller arranged for us to meet his parents in a gas station parking lot, which, frankly, is our favorite way to conduct arcade game transactions. We hit the road, fueled by Buc-ee's, and rolled straight into the palm tree paradise of the Texas Valley. The pickup was so quick we didn't even have time to film it. But we did film the absolute chaos of trying to strap down a Snoopy doghouse-shaped cartoon theater to our trailer. One ICE checkpoint later, despite never leaving Texas, and a quick Dairy Queen stop for morale, we were headed home with our new quarter-munching treasure. The second I got home, I went straight for the red roof because obviously, if there's buried treasure anywhere, it's in the roof. Turns out, nope. Just particle board, the natural enemy of water, professional carpenters, and anybody who's ever said the phrase, "Yeah, that'll hold." So I slammed it back together and swore never to speak of this again. Instead, I grabbed my trusty Windex, greatest cleaner in the known universe, fight me, and I started scrubbing. And no, I was not done, not even close, because this gigantic Snoopy-shaped behemoth has two sides, and apparently I hate myself enough to clean both. When it was shining like it had just been airbrushed onto the side of a 1970s toy catalog, I finally worked up the nerve to peek inside for treasure. And, that's my brother Bob. That's still not treasure. But back to that cabinet. Stickers? Peeling. Coin slots? Hanging on for dear life. Artwork? But hey, I did find the official Movie Hut Incorporated sticker, which let me go online and learn absolutely nothing. Then I looked on the floor of the cabinet and I thought, I could make this look better, which was immediately followed by the thought, or not. But the locked section, that was calling my name. So out came the drill, because picking locks is for subtle people, and I'm the human embodiment of an air horn. After some quality time making loud noises, the lock was off and tossed in the trash like a bad sequel. Inside, no projector. But I did find a handwritten puzzle game flyer, 2 of them actually, a couple of mystery notepads, and enough out-of-order signs to wallpaper my bathroom. The coin box looked perfect, but, plot twist, it was empty. So much for my free Dairy Queen Blizzard. Oh, but the back of the projector display, that's totally cleanable. But the projector itself, it's gone. It's gone. All I had was 15 inches of empty space where a projector could project something, which leaves us with the obvious question of how exactly are we going to watch cartoons in here? The solution, a Pico projector from Best Buy, cost about $200, and yes, I could have bought groceries, but clearly, projecting 1970s cartoons onto a wall for children I don't have is the better investment. I went with the insignia of Reverb Premium Audio Pico projector. Premium audio here means the sound is slightly less tinny than a gas station bathroom speaker. It's a short throw projector, meaning it works well in tight spaces like the inside of this cabinet or your emotional comfort zone. Lucky for us, the cabinet already had a mirror in it, so we could bounce the image up to the screen like we were doing cartoon laser tag. We also threw in a basic media player that runs off a USB stick and loaded it with 3 time-appropriate cartoons. We're keeping this whole Frankenstein setup reversible in case I somehow find an original projector, which right now is about as likely as finding a Blockbuster that's hiring. When we tested it, the legit factor was climbing fast. Sure, my phone's camera picked up some visual artifacts, but those aren't real. And by artifacts, I mean a glowing white blotch the size of Montana and rainbow glitches that look like the screen just got hacked by a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper. But in real life, totally fine. Unless you're an alien, in which case, cool, welcome. I promise this is what human cartoons look like. Next came the great game of how do we line up these devices without a factory projector. The Pico runs on its own lithium battery, which is neat until you realize everything else needs power. So we started running cartoons, and yeah, the vibe was there. The projector was being held in place by tape because I'm an adult who solves problems with office supplies. So here's the tricky part. There's no way to actually see inside the cabinet when adjusting the projector. So we did what any tech genius would do. We shoved my phone in there. We hit record, and we used that as the guide. And yeah, the cabinet door, it had a few speaker holes that should have helped with adjustments, but, you know, they didn't. It was like trying to thread a needle through a keyhole while blindfolded. And we are tired of doing stuff blindfolded. Yeah, I said it. Okay, we've reached the play-by-play portion of our video, where I'm doing something extremely tedious and writing narration to it makes no sense. At this point, I'm reaching in, I'm going to flip off the power, and that is supposed to make things better, I guess? I don't know. Here you can see we're definitely missing the screen, and we need more adjustments. But this, I think, is the first time I've had the phone inside and recording what's going on. While the cartoon does look like it's hitting most of it, later when I adjust the camera again, you'll see that I'm missing a lot off the top. There are settings on the projector to adjust the width and height, and so it's a little bit of a mix of where do I put the projector? Where do I put the mirror? How much of the projector settings do I need to adjust? This is the way it's going to end up looking for the projections. I think that we have it pretty much synced up here. Look at that. You can see the front and the sides and everything. That's Heckle. I think he's making spaghetti, if I recall correctly. All right, let's take a look inside. What does it look like when you open up the door? And let's go on a little tour. Let's zoom in here a little bit, and we'll see what we've done. Again, the projector is being held in by some tape, but I've got wooden little protectors that are kind of keeping it in its position. I didn't want to screw it down. Here's our media player. It's got a USB stick in it that we just happen to have on hand, a PNY. That works in a pinch. It's no problem. And then our projector, again, it has a battery in it. I don't know why. It's pretty cool, though. I used HDMI to send the video from our media player. And it looks good. Now, this is the first throw mirror that came with the projector. I've mounted up against a piece of wood so that it has a special angle so that it'll work for this. I didn't do anything with the mirror that is not reversible, so that's all good. And here we go. This only takes half an hour, putting this little thing back inside, and you can see that here we go. We've got a cartoon playing. It's fantastic. See, this one's called No Sleep for Percy. It's a 1955 animated short film. It follows the misadventures of Percy Puss and Little Rockefort. No idea. The main conflict resolves around Percy Puss's attempts to get some sleep, which are constantly disrupted by Little Rockefort. The mouse's actions, including playing a loud car radio and getting stuck on the car horn, lead to Percy's frustration and ultimately the destruction of the car as he chases after Rockefort. Wow. Yeah, I don't think my brother Bob was interested, but that's kind of cool. Wow, 55. Nice. So while I was in the middle of researching this cartoon and the car horn and all that stuff, I discovered that somebody on eBay right now is selling a movie hut. I'm just waiting for the video to come out. Look at that. It looks nice. I mean, they painted some of it and they put in a carpet. That doesn't seem to be original, but that's nice. Look at that. Yeah, I'm not going to spend that much money, though. I spent $12. This is a bit of a markup. What do you think? But hey, there's a make an offer option, so maybe somebody out there, if you're suddenly motivated to have a movie hut and now you have some instructions on how to bring it back, go ahead, make an offer. I mean, go for $20, maybe $30. You know, why not? It's worth it. So here's the thing. While the movie hut is looking fabulous and cranking out cartoons like a champ, it's not our only theater. Oh no. Somewhere out there, a bigger, flashier, straight-up celebrity-level booth exists. And it has a name that belongs in neon lights, the Kitty-Rama. This bad boy isn't just a cartoon theater. It's the cartoon theater you begged your parents for quarters to use while they were ignoring you in the mall. This thing has history. This thing has prestige. This thing has probably heard more kids laugh, cry, and complain about being hungry than a Chuck E. Cheese in the late 80s. And guess what? We got one. Thanks to my buddy over at Paradise Arcade Shop, we are now the proud owners of a legit Kitty-Rama. And not just the booth, we also scored an actual original projector and several authentic cartoon cartridges, not knockoffs. Not sort of works if you tilt it. It's the real deal. The kind of stuff that makes restoration nerds gasp and immediately update their will. Now, here's the catch. They're still in the mail, which means right now the Kitty-Rama is basically a gorgeous empty shell in our garage. But when those packages arrive, it's going to be a full-blown event. I'm talking lights, camera, confetti. None of these things will actually be there. Slow motion unboxing footage to the Rocky theme, which we can't afford, so it won't be there. Hey, we might even do that thing where you walk in wearing sunglasses and someone sprays a fog machine behind you for no reason, which we will definitely do. Until then, we're keeping the movie hut busy, cleaning the garage and screening vintage cartoons like the 70s never ended. And when the Kitty-Rama finally powers on for the first time in decades, you'll hear my scream of joy from space. Woot!